I was basically I was making a hologram of a dollar bill and a video of document of me making it, and the video is night vision because I need to make a hologram in the dark. And originally I was researching into economics and just the workings of currency and the monetary system, and that's what led me to make that. But then when I looked back on the video, I kind of just this image of me as an artist making art with a laser, basically, which is traditionally seen as a tool of war, and also the fact that the video is night vision as well, which is very closely associated with war as well. I suppose it made it something different for myself as well. I was questioning more maybe the role of me doing this thing that looked quite criminal. I can understand how it might appear as such, and although I'm still aware that its original intent was not to do that, so I suppose it's hard for me to brand it for myself as one thing or another. I didn't make it with any political intent. I suppose growing up in a generation of complete political apathy, I'm no way inclined to do that a lot of the time, but I suppose maybe it was an unconscious thing as well, just from absorbing the world and the happenings around me, that it grew into something else without me realising it. Yeah, I think that art can lose its power if it is completely just introverted and non-critical and just not really saying anything. I don't think that it's during times of crisis that it's necessarily an artist or any creative person's duty to tackle those issues. I think that, well, I'd like to think that it's a natural thing to happen. I mean, someone like Matisse, who lived through 2 wars, was once asked how did he survive the wars artistically, and he answered by drawing ballerinas, which, I don't know, it's maybe something that I just don't quite understand, how you can completely maybe ignore things in the world around you, whether, like, there's always some form of crisis, whether there is war or economic disaster or whatever, there's always something that surely is going to influence you as a person, and not just as an artist, but as a person in general. I'm not completely politically apathetic, but I'm not very consciously very politically either. I know the difference between right and wrong, and I know what's going on in the world around me, and that's just is going to naturally feed into anything that I do. So I don't think that any crisis is going to make me stand up and say, sugar, I have to go and do this now and tackle what's going on and change the world. I think that maybe it's just something that's just going to influence me anyway. But I don't ever expect to change the world with it. I think that people can read art whatever way they want. I mean, you're always going to know if an artist is very obviously trying to push a certain agenda. They can just suggest certain things, and that might create some form of dialogue around something, which is great, but I think that it can be kind of a dangerous route to go down sometimes, to explicitly put forward your own political views. Like, it can cause as much damage as good as well. Well, yeah, you could, being too careful and holding back is not what making art, I suppose, is about. I mean, you could end up just making completely introverted work that is not true to yourself or true to what's happening in the world, and it's not really saying anything at all. I think that maybe it's just a case of not kind of pushing your own causes too much, but like, I think you're maybe an artist's only cause should be to question constantly. I suppose here and now in Ireland there's the economic situation and all the politics that goes with it as well. It's I suppose it's definitely something new that people are kind of thinking about from within the last 10 years at least anyway, and so it is something that's should kind of smack you, and it's something to react to. I don't think it should be a big protest. I think that art should always be a protest. I think that, but it is something that you need to, I think anyway, maybe people do need to think about, and especially think about a bit more in their work. And I suppose I'd be very sad to see people just doing a Matisse and becoming very introverted and ignoring it. I think that it just shows a lot of apathy, and it's not a pretty characteristic, I don't think. And I'm not saying that art can make things better all the time or change the world, but it has shown that it can do something. Again, not always good, it can be bad, and maybe it's just a case of taking that into consideration.